What's up, my loves and fellow creatives? Let me know if y'all can hear me in the comments. Hey, my loves. Hey, TNP Customs. Caseta, what's good? Now, let me get this set up real quick. Make sure I'm just making sure y'all can hear me. Hold on just a second. There it goes. I heard my echo. All right. Good deal. So, y'all, tonight, we're actually supposed to be having our Platinum VIP meeting, but with so much going on, I wanted to make sure that I gave everybody this time, this energy, this message. So first of all, before I even get into it, because I know y'all sense my energy is a little heavy, and it's heavy for a reason. And that's why I wanted to do this a little bit later tonight. I want to make sure kids are in the bed. We could talk real talk tonight, because I think it's quite necessary for this next phase. We need to get into our mode of reflection and take responsibility for what's to come next, especially in this mode of recession and unknown and pure ridiculousness is going on. And without giving y'all too much of you know what, bump it, I was going to say without giving too much personal information, I think that it's time to get personal. I think that it is time to address some things. I think it's time to expose some things, let some things be known so that we have clear understanding of where we are and what our purpose is. Okay. And this is all coming from a place of love, a place of extreme compassion, not just for the craft, but for us as a tribe and what it is that I know that we have to do. Okay. So I just want to make sure that we're here. I want to make sure y'all share this video. I'm going to do a total reset. So some of you are wondering, where do you start? Where do you find your purpose? Where do you go from here? And I'm hearing a lot of stories. I'm experiencing some myself. Okay. We're hearing a lot of negatives, a lot of turmoil, a lot of things in the midst that feel like they're supposed to be dragging us away from what it is that we're stating that we want to do. And I just have a question tonight. And I have a really serious question. What are you willing to do to free your family? Now, the reason why I'm putting it like that is because normally my energy is light and love and happiness and just pure joy, right? And it still is. But when I know that something is at risk, when I know that that we don't have the opportunity or the leeway to play with what it is that we have to do, the thing that we must do, then I want us to come to this table, and let's be really real about what we're willing to do to free our families. Okay. Um, like I said, I'm gonna get a little real tonight. Um, I hope that you all can relate, and that's the whole point of it all. And I hope that you also can see through what you've gone through, what you're currently going through, in order to get through this breakthrough and really create change. Okay. So before I get into it, let me just go ahead and say hello to everyone. Let's see. Erica, hey love. Hey, Trendy Linus Couture, what's good, my love? Ressie, Miss Meredith. All right. Hey love. Hey. Jennifer, what's good? Jamie Jean. Nyla Custom. Rona's in the building. Samela, hey, hey. Facebook user, it's okay that I don't know your name on this platform, but come on over to the YouTube side and I probably will be able to see your name and your comments, love. All right. Awesome. Awesome. I'm seeing y'all telling me you can hear me. Good deal. Alicia. Hey, love. Treva. Letitia. Tampa Barbecue Queens. What's good, my love? Jam Marketing and Consultation. I love it. Shauna. Hey, hey. What's good? Nikki. What's good, Nikki? All right, love. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into it tonight. Little deep of subjects and topics. But before I do this, I'm going to premise this with I had a dream very, very, very early this morning. And in that dream was a message that I am to relay. But as I was preparing that message to deliver today, it's a lot that I saw, a lot that that I have experienced that added on to that. And it went from, this I have a dream speech to to it's time to wake up speech, right? And I want us to understand that there's power in that too. There's power in the dream, and there's power in waking up and doing something with that information. So I did come to a deal that I'm going to do with you all. This deal is I'm going to pretend like I had to start all over again. And this is where all of this came up. If I had to start all over again with becoming a full-time entrepreneur and had to relive all of the stuff, because you know what we say, we wouldn't take it back. So if you say you wouldn't take it back, then that means, hey, you be comfortable with reliving it and being able to create that success again. So I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to start from pretty much right there, that first photo that you just saw with my niece and nephew on my hip. And I'm going to tell you, just a few stories. I'm not going to tell you all the stories. It will be quite impossible. I don't know. Y'all sat with me for 24 hours before for me to tell you all the stories. But the whole point is I want to give you some background and some understanding so that we can have some common ground right now. So we can all understand that we all come from somewhere where the picture was not pretty, but the journey is what you had to fall in love with in order to get to where it is that you really want to be. What's up, Coach Q? I see you. And the whole point of this is that the whole point of this is I want us to obtain our freedom. The freedom that we want for our minds, the freedom that we want for our families, the freedom that we want financially, this freedom that we want creatively, right? That's our ultimate goal. And as I was looking at a lot of the motivating factors for a lot of others, those motivating factors are things that we value, but it's not the things that we value the most. And I just want to know from you all in the chat right now. Let me know if there's a list of 100 things that you could have. What would be the number one thing on the top of that list? What would be the number one thing? I want to hear what you have to say first before I get into this tonight. I'll give y'all a little minute because I know that that YouTube is going to have a delay here. TNP Custom says financial freedom. Your business to explode. Got it. What would that business exploding do for you? What would financial freedom do for you? What would it look like? What would it feel like for you to have that? LH says to get back everything I lost. Financial freedom. Time. Chiva says time. Okay. Peace of mind. Less stress. Y'all, come on. Absolutely less stress. More family time, being able to attend school activities with the kids, stress-free. Nikki says, retire myself, mom and husband from corporate America. Come on with it, y'all. I need to hear these things. Because this is truly speaking the language of where I think we all are and will motivate us to get where we want to be. Creative freedom, self-control. Listen, so we're on the same page, y'all. We are literally on the same page. Retired husband of working, bills on autopilot, no worries about budgeting to vacation. Yes, yes, yes. So these are all the things that came to me this morning. All of the things that came to me this morning. And I just wanted to take the time so we can kind of say these things out loud, absorb these things and realize these things, because none of us sat here and said that we needed or even desired at the top of our list Ferraris or mansions or private jets. And I'm not saying that anything is wrong with any of that. I'm just saying that I want us to realize that this is a tribe. And usually a tribe is a tribe because we have like mindset and like goals, right? And very much like experiences. The things that we want, the things that we are opting to put at the very, very top of our list are at the top of our list. Of all of our lists, very similar for a reason. So I want us to understand why we're placing importance on these things and how we're able to obtain these things. But first, I think one thing that I want to do, I don't feel like I have to do it. It's something that I want to do. And I want to first explain some origin stories here, so that we have some understanding that although you can't change your past, although you can't choose your circumstances many times, that it is absolutely not just possible, but it's necessary to take the things that we've been through, take those experiences, take those hardships, take those obstacles, and use them to understand that there's power in that and that there's actually profit in that. Because somehow, some way, we made it through those things. And we made it on to understand even better what we're capable of. So if you don't mind sharing in the chat, in the comments, I would love to hear some obstacles that you've pushed through, that you've worked through. Make this a little bit easier for me to come through to tonight, because I wanna share my story. It's quite a bit sensitive. I've shared some things with y'all before, but I haven't quite gotten to where I could show you how compelled I am to see this community succeed. And the reason why I don't want to hear excuses. I can listen to a problem, but not an excuse. And here's the thing, because a problem means that we have an ability and a responsibility to solve it. An excuse means you're just going to let that thing be. And that's not what we're going to do. So some of us are making excuses for not following our dreams and not fulfilling our purpose. I'm not going to say I haven't made excuses. I've made a few excuses and I've had to catch myself. Having a problem, having a struggle is one thing, but letting that be the reason why you don't allow you to be successful, we're not doing that this year. We're not doing that this year. And if I have to expose some of me in order for you to see some of you and what I've been through, then I'm willing to do that if it makes the tribe stronger. So this year, this Shopify challenge, I'm actually starting with the Shopify challenge. I'm going to start from scratch. I'm going to start a Shopify store. I'm going to show you exactly what I would do if I had to start from ground zero all over again. And I'm going to tell you where my ground zero started. But I want to see some of y'all's stories first. I pushed through a divorce, cancer scare, moved to a new state, major surgery, all in a 6-month time frame. Treva, that's powerful. That's powerful. And I'm so glad that you're here to tell us your testimony. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. Jennifer, I want to retire myself from corporate America to creating my life as a creative. So this is almost perfect, because what we're going to talk about is designing our life. Okay? Designing our life. And the beautiful thing about designing your life is that you have a lot of choices. A lot of choices. And a lot of things that you've had to deal with were not by choice. But I guarantee you, even with those circumstances in your face, you have choices. So I'm going to tell you where this full-time entrepreneurial journey started. Right before that, I'm going to tell you where this let's break it down like this. I'm going to tell you where this spark came from. This fire came from. And I think many, many, many of you have the same story. As a child, I don't think there is a year that I can remember of life where I was not creating something, creating some type of solution, creating some type of craft, art, design, money. I remember being a kid and in order to get the cool lunch, because hot lunch was not cool, But in order to get cool lunch, I had to make money. I had to make my own money. And with that, my dad really encouraged me, not just allowed me to, but encouraged me to learn a high level skill, learn something that people would pay for, and to create whatever it is that I wanted to have, whether it be cool lunch or a pair of jeans that I wanted to cut up and make some crazy outfit, didn't matter. I knew that resources were not as available from my dad because he worked full time in the correction system as a single black dad of 2 kids. There were not handouts coming our way, unfortunately. Well, maybe it was fortunately, right? So what happened was we had to design a way. We had to create a way. And out of every single problem in my life, and the reason why I'm saying it like this is because there's always problems. It comes in waves. It comes in different intensities. It comes at the least expected times, but there are always problems. And the only thing that I could say that's there every single time is my God-given gift as a creator. So I want you to think to these times that you're typing right now. I want you to think of these moments that you had or that you may be having right now. And I want you to think a little bit deeper and identify what is it that allowed you to pull through? What is it that allowed you to save yourself, save your family, put on your cape, and actually pull through? Because you're here. And it gave you another stripe. It gave you another tool. It gave you a little more confidence in yourself to know that what you're capable of. So when we're talking about this business, when we're talking about entrepreneurship, we're not just talking about crafting. We're not just talking about doing something fun and cute and hanging something up on the refrigerator. That's not what we're doing this for. Our goal is to free our minds, free our families, free our creativity, free our finances. So in this whole process, we're having fun. We're loving what we're doing. We're enjoying the process. But I think at times we feel like it's an option. And that's what I want us to consider today. Are we treating it like an option? Or are we treating this situation like it is the only way? It is the only way. And I'm going to tell you how I know it was the only way for me. And you all, I've had so many opportunities in life, so many beautiful opportunities in life. Most of those opportunities were an extension of my creative efforts. So I've had scholarships, I've had assistantships. I got paid to get my PhD in a discipline that I didn't even plan on even going into. Y'all, got a whole PhD in engineering. It's somewhere behind me. I got paid to do that. Wasn't even planning on that being my path. And literally it was because of my creativity, because of how I can come into any situation and how I can not just think through and give a solution, but I can literally create a solution when no one else can see it. And it's because of all of these different things that we've been through, all of these different experiences. They add up to something. They add up to something very unique. And this is the reason why we have to be able to give credit and gratitude for the things that we've been through. The things that we're going through. It's hard to say that. It's hard to say that even presently going through stuff. Hard to say that. But it's real, because if we can't show gratitude in these times, how can God bless us with more if we're not appreciative of what we're holding in our hand right now? So I'm letting you know some things that happen in life. I'm giving you a little backstory. I don't know how many times I'm going to be able to tell this story, or if I'm ever going to tell this story in this extensive way again. But like I told you all, I was raised by my dad, single dad. My mom left when I was about 5 years old. And I believe that my dad was the most influential person in my entire life, the best mentor I could have asked for, even at the time, if I didn't know it. Absolutely forward thinking, absolutely phenomenal mindset, avid reader, inventor. His mind was like no other mind that I've ever met to this day. So I did get to experience that as a child, which I don't think a lot of people get to experience that. So I'm appreciative of that. One thing I will say, though, is the experiences that we went through gave me a lot to grow from, to gauge what I was capable of. But it wasn't easy. And I know a lot of you have stories of your youth and your adulthood where you've been through things that weren't easy. But I guarantee you that it made you equipped for something. It made you equipped for now, because entrepreneurship is not easy. I remember there were times when my dad really, really needed help. Really needed help. I remember he would be crying at night. And I didn't realize what was going on. I didn't realize my dad never ate food at home. He would buy food for us to cook, for me and my little brother. Well, I would cook for me and my little brother. And I never saw him eat at home. So when I would make a plate, I would make him a plate, and he would refuse it and say, nope, that's for you and your brother. Right? I didn't understand those sacrifices back then. I didn't understand what that was worth at the time. And some of us are being little spoiled brats, and we're not realizing the sacrifices that are being made around us. We're not recognizing the blessings that we have right in front of us, because we're too busy making excuses, and we're too busy complaining about what we lack, and we're not appreciative of what we have. And I'm saying that because I feel like I'm flowers and roses and butterflies 99% of the time. But tonight I felt that we need to have a message to get real fast. Because as I see, and I'm sure a lot of you see too, that these are some hard times for a lot of people, for a lot of us. But I guarantee you that we have absolutely everything that it takes to not just survive, but to thrive through this experience. I know this. And sometimes it's going to take for us to realize it in one another, to just give ourselves that little bit of nudge that it takes to know that you already got this. Whatever vision it is that God gave to you was for a purpose. That is your purpose. And anytime you're doing anything that's not along the path, that's not congruent with that purpose, that's when we feel like something's off, something's wrong. So we're going to correct that. We're going to get on our path. We're going to do what it takes. We're going to do this as a community. And I want to see this through. I want to see this through. I'm not even putting the financial goal on things anymore. The 6 figures, 7 figures, whatever amount of figures it needs. The reason why I'm not caring about those figures right now, because that's not what you stated. You stated you want to be able to have your bills on autopilot. You want to be able to be home with your kids more. You want to be able to retire your husbands, retire your parents. You want to be able to have mental freedom. Those are things that are way more valuable than money. That's the type of wealth that is actual generational wealth. When you can give peace of mind to yourself and your family and to your future generations, that's what we aim for. So, in order to achieve that, we got to get real with some stuff. So, like I said I was going to give y'all some of my backstory. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to lay it out. Some of it anyway, because it's way too much to put in one live. I promise you that. So I'm just fast forwarding a little bit with upbringing with my dad. My dad worked for the federal prison system up until he was almost, right at 50 years old, and ended up having a horrible turn of events from one hospital visit. One hospital visit. My dad has never been hospitalized in his entire life, youth or adults. One hospital visit turned that around. And my dad was in the hospital for almost a whole year. Issue after issue after issue after experiencing something in the hospital that was negligent. I was in the hospital every single day too for a whole year. A lot of those nights I would stay the night at the hospital. I would make sure that no matter what was going on in my life, that I was there every single day. Had to be there every single day. And at first I didn't realize why. But I had to be there because I had to protect my dad. And I don't know if any of you all have experienced this. I don't know if any of you all have actually seen this in person. But I don't have a picture of my dad up here right now. But y'all see, he's all throughout the Innate Academy templates. But my dad's 6'2", dark skin, jovial, just loving spirit that everybody laughs around. Everybody loves to be around. In this hospital, though, he had no voice. There were so many instances where I got to see the world outside of my rose-colored glasses. And I had to be the hero for my dad for once. It was horrifying. It was absolutely horrifying to watch this man that had been everybody else's hero. When I tell you, his yell was like a roar that could get anyone's attention and respect. But in this hospital, he was emasculated. He was made to feel like he didn't understand himself, his health, what he was going through. He was made to feel like he wasn't really in pain. He was made to feel like, in this setting, that unlike some of his counterparts, he didn't really need pain medication. He didn't really, he wasn't really experiencing what he was experiencing. And on each of those occasions where people treated him as such, he had experienced near death several times in the hospital for simple reasons. So I realized very early on that my voice was needed. I had to speak up. I had to be strong. I had to be that person who would represent and who would let other people know that I was not afraid to speak up. I was not afraid to go make something happen, to shake something if need be. And it wasn't a problem for me. And that's because of how I grew up, who my dad taught me to be, whose he taught me I was, and it came full circle. So having to fight for my dad after a year of him fighting and feeling like he was a burden, one day on Mother's Day, well, the night of Mother's Day, because we always celebrate Mother's Day with him. It was our last Mother's Day together. And right before he passed, that year before he passed, we finally started our family business together. Now, my dad had taught us how to do art when we were little kids, had taught us to be entrepreneurs, be inventors. Every science fair project was an invention. It wasn't just a science fair project. He got us a computer when nobody else in the whole neighborhood had even knew what a computer was. I'm talking about one of the fat back computers that the words could only be white, orange, or green on the screen. I don't know if y'all remember those. Went into debt buying an encyclopedia system for us. Those things were thousands of dollars. I remember us being the only people that had an encyclopedia set. We would do Encyclopedia Jeopardy as kids. And it was it was a mix between punishment and learning and fun. Who knows? If you got the answer wrong, you had to do push-ups or the wall. And if you got the answer right, then you just got to say that you stumped. You got to say that you stumped him, which was pretty much ultimate bragging rights. Remember, one of the questions was, how many toes does an ostrich have? Right? So things like that, I knew as kids, him pouring into us like that. And I'm saying this for a reason, because you all are in positions right now. We are in positions right now where we should be pouring into our families like this, because it's going to come back. And it's going to be something beautiful. But if we're not making the time, if we're not placing the energy there, if we're not doing that intentionally right now, we're missing the opportunity. So like I said, lo and behold, years later, I've made jobs for myself where I didn't even plan on having jobs. I have created opportunities and grants and scholarships where I didn't even intend for that to be the scenario. But it's because of the mindset that was instilled in me as a child. It's because of the opportunities we had to create as children. No one gave us those opportunities. Even in college, I wasn't given those opportunities. I created opportunities. And it's because of the mindset that was instilled in me as a young child. You have the ability to do that now so that you can free your family. But it's going to start with us and understanding and believing what we're capable of. So we can break that generational, and I won't even call it a curse. It's generational obstacles. It's generational oppression, of course. But those very same things that stand in our way are the very same things that have equipped us with the tools and the understanding and the power to overcome something that someone who never understood those obstacles would never understand how to solve. So we have to be thankful and grateful for these opportunities to be better and do better. Not everyone had those opportunities. We can look at it that way. Not everyone had those opportunities to overcome those type of obstacles and have this type of training at this point. So I want to give that part of the story, because the reason why I'm saying this is because it comes full circle. It comes full circle. Because in order for us to pour this into the children, in order for us to pour this into the future generations, number one, we have to have it in us to pour it. We have to demonstrate it ourselves in order to give it. That means we have to recognize it and exercise it for ourselves. It's our mindset. It's what we're pouring into our minds. It's what we are doing with our time. It's what we are willing to sacrifice and give up, but also what we're willing to actually do with our resources that's going to make this difference. So I'm saying that it's gonna wrap up. It's gonna come together. I promise y'all that. So, like I said, I'm gonna fast forward for the time we started the business before my dad passed away. It was the proudest moment I could ever imagine that my dad could really see. And it was small. It was literally us starting a graphics business in his garage, which later he kicked us out of because he was OCD and he said we never put his tools back, his supplies and his airbrushes and stuff back. So then he got us a place across the street, which was a storage unit we could work out of. And I was teaching my dad Photoshop. He got a nice new computer. He basically he went ahead and retired while he was hospitalized. Y'all, this man made so much impact that people donated a year's worth of time. The whole time he was in the hospital, they donated their sick leave. So he was able to be out for an entire year without having to basically not have income. So I want us to think on that lesson too. Number one is it does take community. My dad was so proud. He never asked for anything, but he gave so much that when it came time for him to need something, everybody was up in arms and ready to give. And that's impact. That's how we live our lives. That's how we create legacy. That's what we show our future generations. That's living with honor. That's living with integrity. That's living with purpose. A whole year, he didn't ask anybody for anything. Matter of fact, he was telling people not to worry about him. And people kept donating their time, their sick leave, so that he could be comfortable and heal. Y'all, this is the power of community. This is the power of doing what it is that you love and loving people so much that they don't want to see you fail. This is what we have. And I don't want us to take this for granted. I don't want us to take this opportunity for granted because we're not fulfilling our purposes. I didn't hear my dad make any excuses. I wasn't allowed to make any excuses growing up. I remember being sick. I remember when my dad was in the hospital. I didn't even make an excuse. I went in to take an exam and I was bawling, crying. And the professor told me to go home. Shanon, your dad's in the hospital having surgery today. Go home. You can take this exam at any time. And I could not ask for an excuse. I could not ask for or even let it be known that there was some help that I needed. And here's where I'm letting you know that can be resolved. We're here. We're sitting in the same boats, y'all. Some of our boats may be a little bit bigger than others, but we're sitting in the same boats, and it all's going to take this tide to rise for us all to move. I want us to take this time and this energy to make sure that we are doing what must be done. And I think there's a difference when we feel like we can do something or we have a choice to do something, then we can make excuses. When we feel like we must do something, must puts us in a different position. Must makes things not just possible, it makes it happen. And I want us to look at what opportunity we have as entrepreneurs. I want us to look at what opportunity we have as creators and as creatives. And let's get serious and understand that we must do this. It is a burning desire. It is nothing that's going to let us or allow us to put this down. We will relentlessly pursue this because this is for our freedom. After my dad passed away, his dream for me was to get my PhD, because he told me, well, Shanon, I see where you're going. I know you love the little kids in the community, and I see that you spend a lot of your time and energy with them. However, what's going to be able to make the most impact? And y'all, I don't know how my dad saw all of this, even from a young kid, but I would have friendship clubs and I had community clubs and everything, even as a kid. But he said, if you really want to make impact with the kids, I need you to go, not just be a school teacher. Not saying there's anything wrong with being a school teacher, but I'm just telling you his way of thinking, his mindset that allowed me to grow a certain way. He said, well, Shanon, go get your PhD. I was like, what is a PhD? I'm in college and I don't know what a PhD is. My dad hadn't even finished his freshman year of college, but he had all these answers, had all this information. So go get your PhD, Shanon, because as a professor, you'll be able to hire your graduate students. And your graduate students can then be the resources that the kids in the community needs, that the community needs. I know you want to help community, but if you do it out of your teacher salary, you're gonna stay broke, which is what I was always taking my money and pouring it back into the kids, community, my art, that sort of thing. But it was teaching me a different strategy. And the strategy was to get full, and help people with my overflow versus helping people with my glass half empty, which is what I saw him do his entire life, right? So now here I am, creating these opportunities. I don't know how this happened. I went from fashion design to engineering, and not just engineering, but I was working on my master's degree in engineering while I was an undergraduate in the fashion design textiles program. They literally gave me money to come over here and take master's classes just to see if I liked it, because they loved the energy that I had for learning and experiential learning when it came to technology and fabrics, right? Another opportunity created. That opportunity, that crossover, that interdisciplinary field never existed before me at Florida State University. There was nobody in textiles that came over to engineering, and engineering said, hey, we have these carbon fibers and glass fibers and high performance materials is what they were called, but they're textiles technically, right? Never existed before. So I'm saying that to say that we have these experiences that are very, very, very unique to who we are and what we've been through, but that create innovation, that create solutions. So we got to be thankful for that. I have to be thankful for the fact that my dad was a single father, that we had very little resources that were given to us, but because it put us in a position to create opportunities, to create resources. Even now, I'm going to tell you one of the things that made me create resources to this day. Actually, I've created a lot of resources off of this motivation. Is these little ones on the screen right now, my niece and nephew. So I'll give you a little bit of background on that. I was in my PhD program. This is after my dad passed away. I'm just knee deep in PhD, right? So my goal was to just work and honor my dad, make him proud, be the first doctor in the family. I moved to Orlando, and very long story short, ended up with custody of my niece and nephew, an 18-month-old and 8-month-old at that time. While I'm in a PhD program, mind you, I don't have biological kids. Even to this day, I collect babies, but I've never been responsible for creating my own. Let's just put it that way, right? So at that time, I end up pausing my PhD. It was extremely overwhelming. Just and mind you, this whole time since my dad passed away, I've still been doing the business as a side hobby, though. And then it kept playing in my mind. My dad said, if you treat it as a hobby, it'll always stay a hobby, Shanon. When are you going to take yourself seriously? So at this time, I remember taking these 2 kids on my hip, and One person gave me the advice to start a store. Now, I'll tell you, at this time, I had moved to a rural area because I felt like I would have family support there because I had no family in Orlando where I was doing my PhD program. And I knew I could probably finish the rest of my program remotely because I only had 1 or 2 classes to finish in my dissertation, which, dissertation is just like a 300-page book that you have to write. So in my eyes, I was like, yeah, I could do this. So I started the business full time with these 2 little kids on my hip out of a shed in the woods, a shed in the woods. And I was absolutely like proud of the fact that I had a shed. I was proud of the fact that I had a location in the woods, mind you. Nobody knew where it was. A raccoon ran up on me. I had to call the cops on the raccoon, y'all. That's the humble beginnings. But I remember being so proud of that. And a lot of times what we're doing is we're forgetting the things that we've been through. We're forgetting the things that the stages and the way that we fell in love with the process and the ways that we're actually getting to the victory, but we're not seeing that because all we're doing is complaining and making excuses in the meantime. We're not showing the appreciation and the gratitude for what it is that we currently have. We're not falling in love with the process. Y'all, I'm talking about me too. Because as I'm telling the story, I remember how excited I was to be fixing up the shed in the woods. I had a whole screen printer, a 6-head, 6-station press out there. Inside, my cousin helped me put it up. He put insulation inside and we put the little wood paneling up, all of that. I was so proud. Barely had internet out there, but I made it work. Had my vinyl plotter out there, screen printing, sublimation, all the things in this tiny little environment, but I could call it mine. Then maybe about wasn't even 6 months into that, someone mentioned, well, why don't you just get a retail spot? I was, and this is what I'm saying. I'm going to tell y'all, we're going to go through this process together. We're going to start over from scratch. But I'm telling you some of this story so you can know how many years is built into what it is that I teach y'all, what it is that I bring to you. Oh, it's some years. It's some deep down years up in this blueprint. But I think sometimes we don't appreciate when the shortcut is given to us, just like the kids don't appreciate when the shortcuts are given to them because you don't see the struggle. You don't see the strife. You haven't been through the experience and you are not exactly grateful. You don't have the gratitude. You don't have you're not falling in love with the process because you didn't have to see the process. Right? So I'm telling you the process so that when I do pull this together and we do this together this year, and I'm going to show you how to take these 23 years of formal experience. And plus, I say my resume dates back to when I was a kid, but I'll say 23 years of formal experience in this field of graphic design, printing, creating, making, engineering, innovating, all of that, inventing, all of that. We're going to break it down. And in this year, we're going to start from scratch. Get it done. So, like I said, I'm giving y'all this story. Went from the shed to a little shop next to Subway. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't have credit. Like, my credit was horrible. My credit stays horrible because I'm always ruining my credit just wanting to make a business work. So I don't care. I don't care. I will make a way as long as a way is available to be made, which is always. So in my head, nobody was going to give me a commercial space. Lo and behold, that's not how it works. I was able to get a commercial space with first month and deposit first month, last month. So basically 3 months of rent. That man didn't care how much money I had past that. To be honest with you, I didn't care how much money I had past that. But I was able to get that first space. And meanwhile, uh, I have 2 master's degrees and working on my PhD. And I felt like, you know, it could have been more I was doing, absolutely. But this is all I could do. This is all I wanted to do. This was everything that my dad had worked for, lived for, and died for. So I wasn't willing to let it go. I was not willing to let that fester just to partake in the typical American dream, right? So meanwhile, like I said, I have these 2 little babies on my hips, and they go to daycare during the day. I was able to get daycare assistance as a single provider for the kids. And when I tell you, that was an experience. So outside of daycare hours, the kids would help me at the shop. They had their own room where they had their team umizoomi. We had a projected on the wall. They watched their educational content. They had their own little computers and vacuums and things that they would actually help out with at the shop as babies. Babies, babies, right there, babies. That's them. That's the shop, right? I can't tell you the value that has placed on me seeing that growing up, the value that is placed on these kids actually growing up in this environment, and the mindset that it's enabled us to have. You have the same thing. You have the same equipment. You have the same exact drive. You have the same exact goals. We're in this together. There's no difference here. The only difference is it an option or is it a necessity? Is it the air that you breathe, or is it just something that you can partake in if you really want it? And for me, there was no other option. From there, when I tell you blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings kept happening through the tumultuous times, through the devastation, through the heartaches and heartbreaks and horrible things that happened back to back to back to back to back. I believe that it was only because I stayed steadfast in my faith and understanding of purpose that I kept receiving those blessings and I kept getting through those obstacles. And when I tell you some of the obstacles I will never dare to verbalize on this platform. Horrific experiences. So I know a lot of you have been through some of these type of experiences too, where you can't even type it in this chat right now. So I get it. But I'm letting you know, even those things have put me in a position, have put our family in a position where we had to get it. There was no other option. There was no other way. And I think if you can frame what you're going through right now, I think if you can frame the things that you've been through right now as the catalyst to let you understand the type of faith that you have to keep believing after that stuff has happened, during that stuff happening, with that stuff facing you right now, you can do anything. You can achieve any of this. This is peanuts. This is slight work. Abundance is ours innately. But we start subscribing to someone else's inhibitions. We start subscribing to someone else's understandings or lack of understandings of what we're capable of. And that's where those excuses come from. And that's where we feel like it's an option to do this thing. So I'll quote, was it E.T., the hip hop preacher? When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when it happens. That is exactly, precisely when it happens. And when you realize that you're still going to breathe, even after a gut punch, even after your heart breaks and it feels like it can't possibly survive the matter. When you do survive it, you know what it's worth. You know that you can't give up. You know that you can't let it go. And I know that's where we are. So, more than once, more than twice, pretty much 3 times now, my greatest aggravations, which is what I used to call them when they were little, my favorite aggravations, have saved me. Because if it weren't for them, I don't know if I would have understood my purpose. I don't know if I would have been so relentless. I don't know if I would have pushed towards the pain. Because I know that's what I'm asking y'all to do. I'm asking y'all to push towards the pain. And I hear the same thing that my dad would say to me working out, which is crazy now when I think about it, how much I cried and how much I hated these things that I just thought was pure punishment, only to realize that this was preparation, not punishment. So I'm asking you to lean into the pain. Don't look at it as punishment. Look at it as preparation. And when that opportunity meets preparation, that's when success is had. So we're coming up on this season. This season, they say it's a recession. They say it's a recession. I see people all around me feeling it. Even people that have made a lot of money in the beginning of this situation are struggling right now. And a lot of these people are people who didn't necessarily have the talent or the skill or the high value abilities that we have. So I'm here to tell you, it's our time. It is our time. And if you give up now, you don't know what you're about to be missing. This is the time to hunker down. This is the time to recognize. This is the time to stay prayed up. This is the time to stay prepared. This is our season. This is a season where the people who know how to do the thing are going to start rising to the top. Because so many people were able to be successful with barely any skill, barely anything to actually offer, any value to offer. But it was just the right time. And there's nothing wrong with that either, because it was the opportunity and they were prepared. Being prepared meaning that they had something to sell. They had something to pull together to sell. Now here we are. We have the high value skills. We have the creativity. We have the innovation. We have the fortitude. We have the solutions. And we're giving up and getting timid right now? That's not the move. That's not it. So, this is what we are doing. I am going back to those original times. I'm going to build from scratch with you. I'm going to build out a Shopify store. I'm going to build out the products. I'm going to literally, this is stuff I haven't touched, y'all, in years. I haven't touched this stuff because I haven't had to. I've been working on teaching, cultivating, coaching, inventing, right? I'm even writing a book. But I'm willing to go back to these beginnings so that I can show you for certain. If I had to start over and do it again, this is how I would do it. So after this, there's going to be no way that we're going to be able to say that it can't happen or there's going to be an option to give up. Yes, we're going to do the Shopify build out. That matter of fact, those of you who are in the Shopify, I haven't talked about the Shopify challenge. It starts on, I believe it's on January 30th. So if you're not in that challenge, go ahead and get in that challenge. We're about to do something different. We're setting this up as if I were setting this up from the ground up. Now, here's the thing. When I give you this work, I want to hear no complaints, because what I'm doing is I'm condensing all of these years of experience and saying, hey, if I had to do this over again, this is what I would do. I'm telling you, it's not easy, but it's definitely going to be better because you have someone that's willing to work through it with you. Now, I'm going to be the first to say, I need help. I need help. I need help building out this community. I need coaches who can coach within this community, who have value, who can strengthen and bring things to this community to strengthen us and grow us in this time. I need help. I am stretched thin. I'm giving all of me. I'm giving so much of me that I'm actually taken away from the very reason why I set out to do this. And this is why I'm so emotional about what I'm doing right now, because there's always this part of me who wants to save the world. I call it my Jesus complex. Don't judge me, judge your mammy. But I want to save the world. I want to offer everything that I am. I told my dad in middle school, I remember coming home. We were having a discussion about, we were always having these discussions about like Black history and just these inequities in my program. I think I was taking out, I can't remember if it was FCAT, it was some kind of standardized test. And I would always score really, really high on the standardized test. And I remember that the teacher asked me, am I sure that I wanted to mark that I was Black on the paper? And I was like, I've never been unsure of that. Like, why would I question that at this point? And I recognized stuff like that, even as a child, which is really, really odd that, that I had that kind of insight. This is the same school that when I drew up my utopian society and I said I was going to build it in Africa and we were going to be self-sufficient doctors, lawyers, artists, mechanics, inventors, all of this stuff. And the teacher told me, well, that wouldn't work because the native Africans around the village would be jealous of your resources and do a hostile takeover and shoot up everything and take everything from you. And I was like, oh, wow. So this is what it looks like to have a childlike mind with no inhibitions, no limitations, and to have someone try to crush that. Same environment. I'm not new to this. I'm certainly true to this. Shout out True Colors. But I remember coming home and telling my dad that regardless of what somebody tried to make me feel or make me understand, that when it's something that I truly believe in, I'll be a martyr for the cause. He was like, a martyr for the cause? He was like, do you know what a martyr is, girl? I said, I absolutely do. So I say that to say that we not only have the opportunity to pour into our kids and really change this generational wealth conversation, we have the opportunity to really learn from them and understand that it is that type of mind, it is that type of relentlessness, that type of limitlessness that we actually aspire to be like. And we have the ability to help set them free before they get into adopting some of these ways that we have to now break in our mindset. So I want to invite you to have your kids be a part of this, to be a part of learning to build out the Shopify stores, to learning to create your digital media, your designs, your Photoshop, your Canva work, your marketing materials, your ads that you're doing, your videos. Get them involved, because this is a way to set them free. This is a way to get some help as well. This is a way for you to write off almost $13,000 per year per child. Let's be clear. Let's be real with that. This is a whole movement this year. I'm not playing, but in order for me to make my part work, my contribution work, I need y'all. And I need y'all to take it so seriously. I need y'all to move like a unit. I need us to move like a unit, like a tribe. So when we do these challenges, we pull through together. When we do this work, when we have these courses, when we have these opportunities, we show up, we show out, we support one another. Because I'm telling y'all, this is our time. And this is the opportunity, not an opportunity. This is the opportunity that we've been looking for. But this is also the time when people are some of the most stressed out, some of the most doubtful, some of the most negative-minded positions that they've ever been in life. And we have to have our blinders on, look past that, stay focused, and build right now. This is it. I'm glad y'all agree with me. So this is what we are doing. We're going to start with this Shopify builder. I'm going to tell y'all everything that I'm doing that I've taken pretty much off the table because I didn't want to do this stuff anymore, because I really felt like there's some other things that I'm supposed to be working on, which I am. I'm going to work on those things, but I have a point to prove right now. Every single month, we're going to do Shopify. We're going to have some sort of physical workshop. Y'all know it's been a whole year. I've been spoiled. I've been up here to the shop all by myself, like it's my bat cave, like it's my Iron Man, Stark Enterprises. I've been up here just doing my thing, and I'm opening it up to you all because we need this. So every single month, now this is what I need you all to do. I need you not only to show up and participate, I need you all to be the success stories. Is that okay of me to ask from you? Is that okay for me to ask from you to do the thing, do it wholeheartedly, get the results, and be my success stories? That's it. That's all I'm asking. And I am willing to run the same old challenge every single month, making sure that at every single month, you're able to jump on the train and get in where you can get in. I'm not leaving anybody behind. I'm doing the physical workshop. One, I was going to say at least, just one a month. One a month. We have one coming up January 28th in Jacksonville. Every single month in Jacksonville, I'm going to do a workshop. So you can physically come out. You can put your hands on the sublimation. You can put your hands onto Photoshop. You can come to the shop and see all the other equipment we have, DTF. We have large format presses and printers, all of that good stuff. You're going to get a chance to experience all of that. This is absolutely eating into the time that I'm supposed to be doing some of the other things, but I feel like it's necessary right now. I'm using one of my dad's expressions. I can show you better than I can tell you. And I have to show you right now that you can do it. I need you to be committed, and I need you to show up for you and your family. So that's why I asked you the question tonight. What are you willing to do to free your family? I'm even doing a kids workshop, a kids mastermind, where I'm teaching the kids how to do Photoshop, how to make apparel, how to help out with doing your content creation for your marketing, right? I'm willing to invest that type of time into your families so that we can get the success together. But I need you to believe that you already got it. Not that you're going to get it, not that I'm going to be the one to give it to you, because I'm not giving it to you. All I'm doing is holding up a mirror right now and showing you what you're capable of. That's it. My goal has never really been to teach y'all Photoshop. My goal has been to help you gain more confidence in one thing so that you can conquer anything. And so far, you all have been doing the thing. We're getting lazy though. We're laying back though. And I realized that it's one of those things where my eyes haven't been on you like they once were. And I realize that's because I'm over here and I'm really learning. I'm absorbing. I have mentors now that I am actually absorbing a lot of information from, and my goal is to implement all of this stuff so that it helps you as well. But because I'm not there as much, I feel like we're slacking a little bit. You know how you don't quite clean the house the same way until mom or dad pulls up in the driveway, then all of a sudden you start remembering all the things you hadn't done yet before they get home? Well, I'm coming home. I'm coming home and I'm not accepting any excuses. I'm not going to let you fail yourself. I'm not going to let you fail your family. I'm going to hold you accountable. And I just want you to be ready for that. I know you can do it too, Dalina. I know it. And the thing is, that's why I'm so passionate about it. I'm willing to put off some of the stuff that I'm supposed to be doing on a higher level that I'm supposed to be doing for mentorship, for coaching. I'm willing to put that, and it's not at a pause, but I'm willing to scale that back some so that I can be right here in front of y'all. And this is what I feel like I have to do for the kids too, because I feel like I've been missing a little too much. Even though the kids come with us on these trips, they will work the booth. I told y'all my niece pitched to Terry Igioma, which is a multimillionaire that teaches people all over the world how to trade and travel. That's the name of her YouTube, by the way, is Trade and Travel. Look her up. She's a phenomenal human being. My niece had no inhibitions pitching to her because she's been a part of this world. So if that doesn't speak, like, that's what I want you to see. I realized that was me. That was me as a kid. I got the mayor to walk with me to school because I wrote a newspaper article saying how we had to walk to school with no sidewalk next to a ditch for 2 miles. If you lived within 2 miles of the school zone, you had to walk to school. I had the whole mayor and a news crew walk with me to school. They didn't walk the whole way. They walked like this much. Then we got in the van and went to the school and told the rest of the story on the news. That was my first introduction to how media really worked. But the whole point was my dad was like, where's that Shanon? Where's that Shanon that got the mayor to walk with her to school? Where's the Shanon that stood up and darn near cursed out a whole medical doctor? Well, not darn near, I actually did. Because somebody was being mistreated. Where's the Shanon that stood up in court and won a case my own attorney was losing? Because I was prepared. I was equipped with information. I prepared myself for that situation. So much so, I was more prepared than the actual attorney who was paid to do the job. We are those people. We are the ones that show up. We are the ones that make a way when there is seemingly no way. We are those people. And I'll be doggone if I let you give up now while these kids are watching and while you really need this. So if you decide to walk away and give up, that's on you. But I'm letting you know that I'm scaling back right now. I'm the parent that I was working too many doggone hours. I was a little absent, and now I'm back. And I'm on that behind. I'm not letting up. Oh, trust and believe. I understand my daddy now. I understand my daddy now. I understand where that comes from and what that means to the person who doesn't even understand it yet. And I'm not talking to y'all as if your kids, I'm using this as an analogy to let you know that's how much I love you. That's how much I care about you. That's how much I want to see you win. That's how much I will give up and sacrifice. That's what I'm willing to do to free my family. You all are my family. You're my tribe. We're slipping. We're slacking. We need to pick it up and we need to get the job done. This is our time. and I didn't come to play tonight, honestly, I didn't really want to get into it this deep, but I felt like it had to be done. So when I tell y'all there'll be more opportunities, just be ready, be ready, be ready. Now, what I want to do for this last few minutes, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes now. Tell me what it is that you need. Tell me. I'm going to tell y'all what I need. Okay. So while y'all are, I know it's going to take a few seconds for this to pop up. You're going to tell me what you need. I'm going to tell you what I need because I haven't been great with vocalizing that. And I'm going to tell you precisely why I need it too. This season of my life, I want to buy back my time. I want to own my time so that I can have more experiences with my family. So that I can flow in my femininity, which has been extremely hard through all these years because I've had to be a lot of things to and for a lot of people. And it's my time. It's your time. It's your time to literally buy that time back so you can be softer with your kids. So you can have time where you don't feel pressured and aggravated and snapping at every possibility because you just don't feel like you have the freedom to relax and flow, even with your own kids and around your own family, your own husbands, your own wives. We're letting that go. We are letting that go this year. We're going to focus our energy. We're going to use it as it was intended to be used. We're going to be the creators that God, the creator, intended for us to be. And we're going to watch the work work. So I need 3 coaches that will be able to teach classes every single weekend. Every single weekend. I want classes going on online in the academy and potentially, of course, well, not potentially, at least one weekend out of the month, we'll have classes here in Jacksonville, and we're looking at doing other classes in other places, but that's in the future. I want to keep it simple right now. I need people that can come here to Jacksonville and teach. 1 month, that means basically you would travel to Jacksonville, come to the beach, do whatever you want to do. It will be one day out of the month that you teach here at the academy. And then we'll have a meeting set up for that Tuesday. So we teach on Saturday, meeting on Tuesday. That Sunday and Monday, that's called sandwiching the vacation. Have fun on the beach. You can write that off completely. Okay? So I'm going to need 3 coaches that'll be able to do that. Those same 3 coaches will also be able to teach online on the other weekends. At least 2 weekends per month, I need you to be able to teach. Okay? I also need 3 salespeople. That means people who are willing to reach out to others, reach out to other influencers, reach out to other groups. Hey, we have this joint opportunity going on where we offer courses, we offer Photoshop, we have templates, and we would love for your community to be involved with our community. I need salespeople, and then I need coaches that will be able to help people through this process. So, for instance, helping people with getting templates done, helping people with, how do they get into a live class on Wednesdays or on a Saturday or whenever we have our online classes. I'm telling y'all I need this help because I can't be in all of the places. I cannot be. That's one thing I will say. I don't use the word can't pretty much. But in this case, I'm telling you, I won't. Let's put it that way. I won't do that. I won't stretch myself too thin anymore because I know what that looks like. I know what it feels like. And it puts everybody in a position of weakness. So in order for me to be here and be the stronghold that I need to be for the core of this tribe, I need some chiefs. Okay. So I'll be sending out an email and asking for that type of help. But let me know also what type of help you need. I'm letting you know right now, that's the help I need. You let me know, what help do you need? Need to get your Shopify store set up? All right, well, we got a solution for that. Design your own graphics? I have a solution for that. We actually have a team that will be doing graphic design for y'all. Using these machines, these dang old machines that you paid for. I get it. Completely. Yes. And then helping others do it too. Yep. I feel you. You need help maximizing your time. Listen, I'm over here taking notes. I'm taking notes from y'all. I'm literally asking you what it is that you want me to what value do you want me to bring to you? Because Lord knows I probably have 20 years plus of information. I just need to know what it is that you need. What are you lacking? What do you feel like you're lacking so that we can fill the gap and get it done? Sandra, Photoshop is not hard, baby. We got you. We got you on Photoshop. As a matter of fact, all of the templates on the Innate Academy are all Photoshop. They all look like they're super extensive, and they can, every last one of them, be done by a beginner that's never touched Photoshop before. Building your confidence, Darlena, I got you on that. Now that all day, I got you. But you know what builds the confidence? And here, I'm going to go on one of my mindset rants. But you have your confidence, competence, and your congruence. Okay. Though, and then also I like to add to that your circumference. So your confidence is your faith and your ability to do something. Now, you can have blind faith. So some people have some really, really blind faith, and I can't knock them for it. But the more competence that you establish, so that competence is how well you do a thing because of how often you do a thing. That's going to help build the confidence. And once your confidence in one thing, that's why I say I hone in on this Photoshop thing, because I know if I can get you confident in something that you thought was so hard, if I can help get your confidence, I don't care about the Photoshop skills, because here's the thing, you're going to be able to pay somebody to do those Photoshop files, because at a certain point in time, that's not even where your mind is going to be. You're going to be on growing and scaling your business. You're not even going to want to touch the designs, because it's going to be MWA at that point in time, minimum wage activity. But we will use this as a high value skill, because it is a high value skill, so that you get to the point where you have all this confidence in something that you thought was so difficult. And it just gives you what you need to say, hey, if I can conquer this, I can conquer anything. Photoshop, if I can do Photoshop, I can go out here and grab a PhD. That's what I thought. Photoshop, yeah, which one was harder, Photoshop or the PhD? I don't know. I felt like because I can do Photoshop, I can do anything. Or I can Photoshop a PhD. Hey, either way it goes, right? I want you to understand that that's just a confidence builder. The competence is going to come from you doing that high value skill over and over and over and over again. Okay. Then the congruence is you seeing the person that you want to become. And I'm going to put it to you just like this. I like to use my hands to talk about congruence. Congruence is when things are exactly lined up. If I have it like this, my hands are not lined up. When they are perfectly lined up, that's when we see, that's when we feel our best. That's when we feel like we're serving our purpose. But this person who we want to become has to be congruent with the person that we are at this very moment. At this moment. And then once you notice anything is off, you correct it. So for instance, my goal is to be healthier, wealthier, and wiser, right? If I'm doing anything that takes me off of that path or is not congruent with that goal, then I already know what I got to do. I have to correct. So if you could see yourself, don't think that the person that you want to become and the person you are now are two different things. They are one and the same. You're connecting with this person at every given moment. So just make the decisions today as if you were already the person that you're aspiring to be. And I'm going to say tomorrow, because some of us will say, oh, 10 years down the road, I want this. No, you're that person today. If you give yourself 10 years, guess what it's going to take? 10 years. Tell yourself you're that person today. Tell yourself that you're worth it today. Do the things that it takes to be that person today. Today. And don't give yourself to another Monday. Don't give yourself to another after this holiday. Don't give yourself to, oh yeah, when I get my paycheck. Don't give yourself until, you know what, the summer, the kids will be out and I can relax more. No. Act today in this very moment as if you already had the thing that you said that you wanted. That's congruence. And then circumference is the circle that you're included in. Is it a cage? Because you're the biggest person, you're the most knowledgeable, you're the most talented in your circle? Is it a cage or is it a circle? If it's a cage, get out. Challenge yourself. Lean towards the pain. Start doing something that you're not really good at, but you know you need to be better at. Get around people, and this is our tribe. I'm telling y'all, like, this is the perfect opportunity to be vulnerable. This is the perfect opportunity to ask for help. This is the perfect opportunity to grow. This is the fertile opportunity to do those things. That's your circumference. So you got your confidence, competence, your congruence, and your circumference. You have your formula right now. Those are the 4 steps. That's what I'm going to be teaching in the challenge. That's what I'm going to be teaching from here on out, of how to get ourselves aligned, get ourselves set up, and prepare for this success. All right, let's see. I'm coming back to some of y'all's desires right now. Finances, motivation, computer with more RAM. Now, TMP, I can't help you get the computer with more RAM, but at least you recognize that you need it. I'm telling y'all, these high value skills require some high value resources too. Like, we're going to have to upgrade these computers, but at least what I want you to do is be earning with what you're doing so that you can upgrade and afford better. Okay? Because we can't afford anything that we want to, because we're paying for things with our minds. We're paying for things with our creativity. There's no shortage of that. That's why there's no shortage of anything that we actually want. It is abundantly there, and it is innately ours. Etsy shop. Okay. We can do another Etsy. I think we'll just do an Etsy course, because I believe you should be able to get that done in a day. Maybe we'll do an Etsy course on a weekend day. I think that sounds good. On a Saturday or Sunday, set up live with y'all, do an Etsy. I love that. Okay. Automizer. We can do an Automizer course on the weekend. Let's see. Photoshop. We do Photoshop classes every single Wednesday. Every single Wednesday. If you are a VIP member or a Platinum VIP member, we have Photoshop classes going on live every single Wednesday night. Okay, I see you teaching high school right now, Shanti. Good. Matter of fact, those are resources. I started learning Photoshop when I was, 14? Teaching myself. I didn't even have anybody teaching me Photoshop. All right, so Shopify. So I got Shopify, Etsy, Automizer, Photoshop. Y'all, this is easy. We got this. We talked about finances, time management. I got this app that's going to help out too, it's called a CRM. So It allows you to keep up with your customers, text message, email, Instagram message, DM, Facebook DM. It allows you to do your email sequencing and marketing, your text message marketing. It will communicate. It has a chat feature that plugs straight into your Shopify store. So while people are hanging out on your Shopify store, they can chat with you and get help. And then that way you're not missing any opportunities to make a sale. So the app, I definitely see that as being a solution to a lot of things y'all are talking about here. Get out of your head and load the items in the Shopify. So I'm also hearing that some of you may want a done for you service where that would be either artwork or setting up your Shopify stores. If that's something that you need, let me know. I'm looking into whatever it takes to get us successful. I'm ready to get the ball rolling. I'm ready to rock and roll. I myself am tired of dragging things out and waiting for the perfect opportunity. Okay, for posting, I got the perfect thing. So the app also does what's called a content planner. So what you do is you tell it which days and what time you want to post, and whether you want to post on Instagram, Facebook. Believe it also posts on TikTok and somewhere else. I can't remember, it's Pinterest or something like that. But that's called a content planner. I do have someone that's going to come in and teach about content, so that actually, because the content planner is only going to work if you input content there, right? So we need content. That could definitely be weekend courses. Literally, what y'all are telling me, I want to see happen every single weekend. There should be something engaging that you can get into for 2 to 4 hours of your time on that weekend and grow your skill base. So you have your mindset, your tool set, and your skill set. Okay. Tool set is stuff like the Automizer, templates, that sort of thing. The app is a tool set. The skill set is your Photoshop. You actually having marketing skills, right? Those are skill sets. And then the mindset is you understanding, having the faith, having the confidence that you can do this. So we're going to work on all of those. Okay. Business together, legal, in a legal perspective. Okay. So that would be setting up the business entity. Got you on that. All right. Got you. So the Shopify challenge, no, there's a workshop on Saturday, the 28th. There's a physical workshop here in Jacksonville, here at Innate Lab, and we're going to do Photoshop. We'll do sublimation. We're doing bling. We're making socks. We're doing an all-over shirt with the tile method, an all-over shirt with the big printer, big press. We're going to use the buddy system. We're also going to make a license plate, and I know I'm missing something right now, but it's just off the top of my head. Basically, it's a full 11-hour day with me. Okay, that's happening this Saturday. Okay. Now, Monday is when the Shopify challenge starts. And this is what I did. I heard what y'all said. I brought in the guys, the Stevens from Rich From Anywhere. They're going to come in and teach on Wednesday. They're going to teach you about Facebook ads. Okay. So you wanted to know how you bring traffic to your Shopify store, because it doesn't just magically happen. One of those ways is to do Facebook ads. And they also, I don't know if they have time to talk about TikTok ads, but they're also doing that as well. So that's marketing and ads. I know that's something y'all asked me about. I'm bringing people in for that. And if I have inner circle members, the only way I'm doing an additional day is if inner circle members, if y'all want to do that Sunday, or Inner circle members could choose, we could do like a Tuesday so that you can do your, we can have a meeting on Tuesday so that you can do your weekend sandwiched in there and write it off. So I needed for Inner Circle to tell me if you all are going to be able to make it. In Inner Circle, you don't have to pay for the workshop. You get to come to any workshop that I do. Okay. And you can actually certify to teach at the workshop too. I feel you, Tampa, and keep at it. Keep doing it. What's up, Sheeta 3? Yo, she'd had me in New York, y'all. In New York. I think I came to y'all. I showed y'all that La Russell was out there. That was a crazy experience. We did brought some shirts, set up a pop-up shop literally in about 48 hours of the event. You want to? Okay. So some of y'all telling me y'all want to learn this YouTube thing. Okay. Just say that. So the YouTube and content is actually something that I'm learning more about because we're starting a podcast called the Design Your Life TV. So if you all are interested in that as well. Now, y'all know I get on this YouTube and I just do my thug thistle. I just get on here willy-nilly and just go live. But for the podcast, it is a different type of setup. Even for some of the content that we need to be making, it's going to be a different type of setup. So if that's something that you want to learn, I'm writing it down. So the Shopify course, the Sunday before so the Shopify course you want to already be enrolled in it by that Sunday. I still accept enrollment in the Shopify course on that Monday because Monday we do our mindset. I need you to be there though. Don't just skip out because it's mindset, because I'm telling you, mindset matters. That's not just a cliche saying. We do mindset Monday, and then we go ahead and get things rolling so that you have your submissions that you need to have the store uploaded and running by that Friday. Okay. So your store will be uploaded and running. Your Shopify store will be up and running by Friday if you come to all 5 days. Okay. The link for the Shopify course, it is, let me go ahead and grab it for you. Let's see here. It is one of the first ones up on academy.innatelab.com. Here, I'll just put the main site up here. You'll see it. Boom. There it is right there. So just go to academy.innatelab.com, and there is a 5-day Shopify challenge. Okay. 5 days with me. And we're going to make sure we get it done. All right. And here's the thing. I did enable the affiliate link. So if you get somebody else to take the challenge, then you get 50% of that. So technically, let's say you just say to yourself, oh, I don't have it. I can't afford it. I want you to scratch that. Go sign up for your affiliate link. All you have to do is sign up for a free course. You don't even have to be a member of the academy to get an affiliate link. You just sign up for a free course, go to your affiliates under your name, and then find the Shopify challenge. And if you get one person to do the Shopify challenge with you, that's 50% off of what you would have to pay. You get 2 people to do it, then your challenge is free. So you're only paying $300 to have 5 days with me for 2 hours per day. Like, that's a lot. And I'm telling y'all, this takes so much from me that I only do these challenges like once every 3 months. I'm aiming to do one every single month now, just to make sure that everyone is prepared. I get everybody on the boat, no creative left behind. Okay. So now that y'all gave me y'all's wish list, Okay, I have your wish list. I'm letting you know what I need too. And what I truly need is for you to show up, show out. Okay. All right, my loves. So I'm gonna actually let y'all get some rest tonight. I did not intend on being here this long tonight, but I do appreciate y'all. Y'all are still hanging on strong. Y'all are still in there. Ain't nobody jumped off and knocked out and went to bed yet. So I do want to tell you that I'm so incredibly proud of you all. I see the progress that you're making. This is our time. Let's confirm it. Let's claim it, and let's make it happen. All right. Like I said, I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to choose to start from the bottom. But if I'm going to do this, I need you all to go all in. Can I get an all in the chat? If y'all tell me tonight that y'all ready to go all in, then I'm here. All in. I want to see all in the chat. And all in means that you leave everything on the field. You don't cheat me. You don't cheat you. You don't cheat your kids. You don't cheat your significant other. You're going all in. 100%. Let's go. Okay, Jam Marketing, I see you. All right, Chiva, I see you. Demetrius, all in. Facebook user, I know you all in. Darlena, all in. Cassandra, all in. TMP Customs, yes, all in. Sharon, all in. Tampa Barbecue, let's go, all in. Shana, all in. Samela, all in. Sandra, let's go, all in. Valoria's, yes, all in. Alicia, is that Alicia? Alyssa? How have I messed your name up? I know if I said it right, then it'd be extra all in. Eleanor, all in. Nicole, all in. Let's go. Valerie, all in with the extra ends and the exclamation points. Come on, y'all. This is it. This is our time. We've been through way harder. We have experienced exactly what we needed to experience to conquer this right here. The only thing that will stop us is us. The only thing. So don't be confused by the obstacles. Don't let someone else's denial or discount of what they think you can do play into what you can actually do. Because when we're all in, there's no choice. There's no decision in the matter. It's written. We got this. We've always had this. It's just time to claim it. Alicia. Okay, Alicia. Thank you for spelling it out for me phonetically. I appreciate that. All in Creative Expressions. All in Ashanti. Van Teresa, all in. Let's go. Let's go. So listen, tonight y'all can go all in and get some sleep. But let's start this off right. I will be sending out my email, giving you my wish list. I have your wish list. I know we can make this happen for one another as creatives in this beautiful community that we've created. Y'all, there is no other community like ours. We are blessed and we continue to be blessings. And it's because of the intention that we have and what we put out there. So let's go. Let's get it. I ain't trying to get y'all too riled up before you go to bed. But listen, y'all already know I love you. And I truly do appreciate you dearly. And until next time, bye. Love y'all.